Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 2019 Hennessey Camaro Exorcist. So 100 of these were produced from 2017, and it's basically an upgrade package for the Chevrolet Camaro Z01 1LE that is offered by Hennessey. So yeah, the headline figure with this is the amount of power that he's getting out of the engine, which we're just going to get straight to, is 1000 horsepower, 883 pounds-feet of torque from a 6.2 litre supercharged V8 engine. So the size of the engine hasn't changed, neither has the amount of cylinders, but everything else pretty much has inside that engine. So yeah, it's got a high flow supercharger and intercooler providing 14 psi of boost pressure. It's got a custom camshaft, ported cylinder heads, upgraded valve train with new springs, lifters and push rods, and the valves as well as long tube stainless steel exhaust headers with high flow catalytic converters. So that means it's got 350 extra horsepower over the standard version, and a good 230 or so extra pounds-feet of torque. So yeah, massive increase in power. It's a good job though it's based on the 1LE version of the ZL1, because yeah, that amount of power is really going to have to be kept in check as much as possible. But thankfully the 1LE is a superb handling car, and even though this has lost some of its handling due to the extra power and the amount of forces that's putting through the chassis and overpowering the aerodynamics and the tyres and the like, it's still a really rather good handling car for you know, something that has that amount of power, especially given it is still rear-wheel drive and it still isn't exactly a lightweight car. Weighs 3,858 pounds, which is about 30 or so pounds heavier than the 1LE that it is based on, no doubt because of all the extra engine stuff that it's got going on. But yeah, it's still got its same interior, so it's still just as comfortable and as practical as a normal Camaro, but just so happens to have all of that weapons grade power going on underneath. So yeah, there's the boot, as you can see, so nothing's changed in there, and yeah, it still pretty much looks the same as a 1LE outside of the decals on the side and on the windscreen. So yeah, in essence it doesn't look any different to the car that it's based on, and in fact if you took the decals off, nobody would be the wiser until they actually came up against it in a race. So yeah, let's get out there onto the open road and see just how this car goes. So with all of that power, it's inevitable that we're going to want to see what it can do on the drag strip. So let's see how quick it will go before we hit the speed camera, and then we'll put it around the track. So this does have a little bit of an issue in terms of getting off the line. As you can see, it was bouncing off the rev limiter a bit there, but if you get it right, it's a properly quick car off the line. And yeah, as soon as it starts to stretch its legs, as you can see, it's more than capable of getting up to a good rate of speed. There's nearly 157 miles an hour. Easily one of the fastest top speeds we've had on doing one of these reviews, which I guess is no surprise given the amount of power this has. It is a little bit, you know, unwieldy when trying to get it going, you know, with the tyres lighting up and all of that, because it does overwhelm the amount of grip that is available with these tyres. But again, once you get going, it is for the most part as good as handling as the standard 1LE, even though the stats say otherwise. But yeah, let's take a look at those stats in Rivals mode. So let's get there. So we're top end of S1 class, a little bit higher than the 1LE, as you'd expect with all the extra power. So yeah, they're the stats. So obviously the top speed is pretty good, and the handling and the braking is still really rather decent. Acceleration on launch doesn't look as good as it should be, but trust me, the acceleration on this is really rather relentless. 55% weight at the front and 45% weight at the rear, which if you compare it to the 1LE, which we'll take a look at, is slightly worse, but not by a huge amount, especially given the extra power and torque that's going on, and especially considering all of the you know, newer elements that have been added to the engine, which have no doubt added a little bit of extra weight. But a little bit of extra weight for extra 350 horsepower is not a bad compromise. So let's see what the engine sounds like first, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, it sounds great, and yeah, surprisingly, around a track, this is better handling than you'd expect it to be for 1,000 horsepower. Going through those rear wheels, and yeah, the acceleration is excellent. 0 to 60 is dealt with in only 2.1 seconds. 0 to 100 is dealt with in 6 seconds dead, and it can go to a top speed of 217 miles an hour. So that's nearly 1.5 seconds quicker to 60 than the 1LE. It's nearly 2 seconds quicker to 100, and it's got an extra 25 mile an hour over that car at the top end. So yeah, really quick. But surprisingly, it's not a one-trick pony when it comes to the power. It's more than capable of dealing with that power, and to make sure that was the case, I actually took both this car and the 1LE that it's based on around this track for several laps, just to see what kind of lap times I'd be getting. And in this I got about 1 minute 3 seconds .2, whereas in the 1LE I was struggling to get below 1 minute 6. So yeah, despite all of that power, it's not a one-trick pony whatsoever. It's still more than capable of dealing with, you know, the track at speed and against, you know, another rival. So yeah, absolutely superb car. Really enjoy it. It's glad that it's in the game. It does make me wish we had the likes of the Shelby 1000 and the Dodge Demon that this was released as a result of, because they wanted to compete with the Dodge Demon, which, you know, has over 800 horsepower, which this easily has more than. And yeah, that's the reason why Hennessey released this version, to compete with that car. So yeah, but it's a glorious car in its own right, and yeah, well worth getting. So you get this car by completing the Icons of Speed Horizon story. I've already done a couple of the 2 episodes of to complete that story myself. Not difficult whatsoever, and even unbeknownst to me, you don't have to get the full 3 stars in every chapter to get this car, because I only got 2 stars in one of those chapters, and yet this car unlocked. So yeah, well worth going through that Horizon story. It's a fun Horizon story in its own right. It's a little bit challenging in a couple of aspects as well, so it's fun in that regard. But at the end of the day, you do get this 1,000 horsepower muscle car as a reward, and yeah, what a reward indeed. So yeah, nonetheless though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.